I have spent the last 35 years or more treating people who have developed disease of one description or another. Currently now I'm a heart surgeon and I treat people who've developed heart disease. So if you've developed blocks in your heart arteries, I'm the surgeon that will bypass those blockages. Or perhaps if you developed heart valve problems, I will repair or replace the heart valve. But an experience that really was close to my family made me realize that we as doctors perhaps don't do enough to prevent heart disease. A very important member of my family had a heart attack and required emergency stents. And interestingly, we had recognized that there was risk in her. Her father had died of a heart attack, and there was no doubt there was strong genetic risk. Now, before we managed to get that important CT coronary angiogram performed, she had the heart attack. Now, thankfully, really down to the paramedics and the doctors and the nurses who swiftly dealt with her heart problem, she will not suffer any long-term deficit. But that's not always the case. And I think it's a really important story that I'd like you to read, because I'm sure many of you have either experienced it or know somebody in your family who has experienced it, or perhaps you've got other members of the family who now want to know what their own personal risk might be. For example, her children now run that genetic risk of heart disease going forward. And of course, they are young, they're in their 20s and 30s. Now is the time to look to deal with high cholesterol or high blood pressure or bad blood sugar or bad diet or smoking. All those things that we know work together over the next 10 or 15 years to develop a problem that can sometimes be a great risk to your life or can really reduce the length of your life. So read the story really carefully. I'm sure you'll recognize this story in your own lives. And if you have got risk in your family, go and see your doctor and look for ways with which he can identify any risk factors and control them going forward, because genetics are one of the most powerful predictors of heart disease. And of course, the way we live our lives are the trigger in the gun. I hope you enjoy.